Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Lauren and I'm from the UK, but I live in Seoul, South Korea. As you can hear by my voice, I still have this horrendous lingering cold, so this is just what I sound like now, so we may have to get used to it. Oh my god, I sound so weird. This is not my normal voice, I promise. So since I have this lingering cold, I wanted to do something to try and cheer myself up and hopefully like feel more positive. So today I'm going to be sharing with you things that I love about living in Seoul. So for those of you who don't know, I have been living in Seoul on and off for 6 years, but I permanently moved here in November 2019. So it's fair to say that I have lived here for a while, and now I have accumulated things that I really love about living here. So I'm really excited to share those with you today. Everything mentioned here is just my opinion, so I don't want any negative Nancy's in the comments. The first one is the transportation system. So firstly, mainly like the subway system here, the metro system. The subway system in Seoul is so good. It goes from all corners and suburbs of Seoul, and you can get to places from, you know, across the opposite side in like under 2 hours, I guess, which may not seem that fast, but considering the size and scale that it is really good. The main lines are super frequent. They may not be as frequent as the tube, which is like I can't speak today. The trains may not come as frequently as like the tube, for example, which is every 3 minutes, but the main lines during rush hour tend to come about every 3 minutes, and aside from that, maybe every 6 to 9 minutes. I like how the subway system was designed with a circular line that just runs through the middle, kind of similar to the London Underground, and the amount of transfer stations is so good, and not to mention the price. A single journey is about 1,251 if you don't transfer lines. If you transfer or the distance gets a bit longer, then they add a couple of £101 depending on the station, but that's about 80 pence in Great British pounds. It doesn't even reach £1, which to me is insanely cheap when you compare it to other big cities around the world. Another thing I love about the transportation system is the card that you use to travel. You can use this card in every other city in the country. You don't have to get a different card depending on which city you're going to, which is amazing that it's all just one system. It makes it so much easier. That's like one less stress if you want to travel to another city in Korea. Oh, I love it. It's fantastic. The next thing I love about living in Seoul are the convenience stores. So I guess some Americans here may be used to convenience stores, but I'll be honest, in the UK we don't really have convenience stores. We may have corner shops or the shops that are in the petrol station, usually the gas station, which aren't always 24 hours. I think it does definitely depend on where you live, but where I lived and grew up, there was no such thing. Maybe we had a corner shop, but that would close at about 11 p.m. So having convenience stores which are open 24 hours and sell anything from phone chargers to milk, I think it's just fantastic. And now I feel like I couldn't live without them, because you never know when you're going to need a phone charger or a spare toothbrush or something like that. So I love the convenience stores. I will say that the variety of food, depending on the time of day that you're going, obviously the fresh food is not going to be there all day. It will sell out, and there's not that many vegetarian or vegan options. They are improving on that though, which is fantastic. But overall, these convenience stores are incredible, and yeah, they're on the corner of every single street, and you have multiple ones within like 50 meters, so you can take your pick at which convenience store you like the best. Leading on from convenience stores which are open 24 hours, other things here are also open 24 hours, such as laundrettes, like laundry rooms. You can go and wash your clothes at any time of the day, any time of the night, whenever you need them, they are there. Another one is PC rooms or PCbang. They are computer gaming rooms, but you can also use the computers for printing and stuff. That's really handy if you don't have a printer at home, or you can't use your university printer and you have a kind of emergency document that you need, that you would have to go and get at like 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning. So those PC rooms are fantastic for that. They're also really cheap to print as well. I think it cost me like 1,001 maybe. They're also super handy if you need really fast internet connection for buying concert tickets or applying to take your Korean topic exam. That's where I applied to take my topic exam, and it worked out pretty well. There are also 24-hour cafes and study cafes. This was super handy when I was a student and I just needed to not be at home studying, so I could go to these 24-hour cafes or study cafes to do some work. These 24-hour cafes are also really good. A lot of other cafes may close at 10 or 11 p.m. If you're wanting to stay out late with your friends, it's really good to be able to go to a cafe rather than always having to go to a bar or whatever. it's nice that you have other options here, which I really love. Next, I love that there is always something going on or something to do. Obviously, this comes with being a capital city and a huge metropolitan city, that obviously there's going to be events and loads of museums and stuff like that. But I love that there's a massive variety here, from museums, art galleries, art exhibitions, pop-up fashion stores, pop-up events, different music events going on, as well as having lots of different cafes, restaurants, themed cafes. There's always something to do. You will never ever be bored in Seoul. There's also a theme park inside Seoul, which you can get to by the subway, called Lotte World, which I filmed a vlog which you can go and check out here. It's a really good theme park. The tickets aren't as expensive as theme parks in the UK, and it's really easy to get to by subway. So yeah, basically you can never be bored whilst living in this city. Okay, the next one I'm going to talk about is shopping. Something I love, whether that be just window shopping, just looking at things, anything. The layout, the cleanliness, the tidiness of these shops. When I tell you it's not like Primark chaos, everything is laid out perfectly, tidy, neat, clean. I love it. For someone who likes visuals, I don't want to go into a shop that's just like cluttered mess. The options, I will be honest, sizing, if we're talking about clothing, the sizing options are not there yet, okay? They're working. I've seen a massive improvement from like 4 years ago where everything was one size only, free size. Now, some shops do go up to a large or extra large, which is about a UK 12 or 14, which is not completely inclusive, which is a shame. But just seeing that difference to a few years ago to now, I'm really hoping that they continue to broaden the spectrum of sizes to be inclusive for everyone. Wow, my cold is really kicking me in the today. Yeah, so whether it be clothes shopping or makeup, skincare shopping, it's just incredible. I love that everything is organized into different sections of what you might be looking for. Yeah, if you want makeup and skincare, you're just gonna be in heaven. I could just walk around for hours just looking at things because they look nice. That is slightly concerning, but I mean, I am the target consumer, so what can you expect? There are a lot more vintage stores nowadays. There weren't so many before. I've also noticed a lot of kilo vintage stores coming around because pricing of the regular vintage stores here were a little expensive depending on where. I will make an entire separate video about where I get my vintage clothing in Seoul, so if you want that video, please do leave a comment down below. For makeup shopping, obviously you have Olive Young, you have other kind of makeup stores or individual branded stores, but everything is set out perfectly. The staff are really friendly. They're always there to help, which I really like, and there's always like a staff member somewhere floating around. Yes, and obviously for your skincare, you just have everything. So if you're into fashion, beauty, makeup, skincare, all of that, you have everything you can possibly want in terms of shopping. Okay, the next thing is the speed that things get done. You need a document notarizing, you need a document translating. If you just need any kind of like admin work done, it's really fast. Not just admin, if anything kind of happens, there were massive floods in Seoul as a result of heavy rainfall, which caused disaster all across Seoul, particularly like the southern part of the river, like Gangnam area, and the subway stations were getting flooded, completely filled with water. And this was about 11 o'clock at night, and when I tell you they had already fixed the subway, gotten rid of the water, everything was fixed by the first train the next morning, which is 5 o'clock in the morning.
The woman was too stunned to speak.
In the UK, subway stations would be closed for weeks to try and get them back up and running. I hope everyone was safe who was cleaning up those floods, because it was really horrendous. I'm so grateful that I was at home during that. Obviously, with everything being done really fast here, it does come with its problems that I won't talk about in this video because this is a happy video, but things get filed faster, things get built faster, buildings, construction is done fast, okay? That may come with other downsides, which I won't talk about in this video, but things get done fast. That's what comes with the Bali mindset. Okay, speaking of fast, speaking of things getting done fast, the delivery service here is crazy fast. Be that parcel deliveries, postal, they even have a service called quick service, which is for sending like documents or packages where a courier will pick it up from your house, from your work or whatever, and take it to the destination just straight away, kind of like a personal courier almost. The food delivery service is very fast. Okay, you can get your food delivered in like 15-20 minutes, which in the UK, when I was living there was like 1 hour. Maybe it's improved now, I don't know. Please let me know in the comments. I would be very interested to find out. Delivery fee is roughly like between £1 and £1.50 here, which from what I remember is much cheaper than the UK. The delivery people are just like zooming on their little scooters, which can be quite dangerous. I may mention that in another video, but yeah, overall the whole convenience of getting things delivered is really, really good. You can also get groceries delivered in like 20 to 30 minutes if you live in Seoul. I know some other cities haven't gotten this service yet, but I'm sure they will soon. So yeah, if you need like emergency groceries, if you're sick or you're stuck working and you can't go to the mart to get groceries, then you can order them on like the same app where you order food delivery. So it's all like one company. It's really cool. Also, Olive Young does like a same-day delivery where if you order makeup, cosmetics and whatever, then they'll just deliver it straight to your house. Depending on the time, like max like 4 hours later, I think that there's slots that get filled up by deliveries. I don't really know how that works, but max you can get it delivered like the next day. There's also a thing called Coupang, which is similar to Amazon, and they do next day early morning dawn delivery. So like before 7 a.m. most of the time they deliver it at like 1 o'clock in the morning. Also that obviously depends where you live. So they will deliver it before 7 a.m. So if you need like some emergency thing and you can't find it in stores, or you live nowhere near a store, then you can get it on Coupang for the next day delivery. That has come in handy so many times, especially for things like extension cords and whatever, especially like with filming. I've also ordered a spare battery and a spare battery charger for my camera, which arrived the next day, which was literally the most handy thing, because obviously getting like a spare Sony battery is not the easiest thing in the world. So has saved me on multiple occasions. So yeah, I hope I mentioned everything I could. As I said, I'm really not on top form today, but I wanted to make a positive and happy kind of video to try to make myself feel better. Hopefully you guys also enjoyed it. If you do live in Seoul and have some other things that you love about living here, please leave those in the comments. As always, please give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in a new video next week. Bye bye!